Okay, so here is our last example. We want to solve this system. I'm going to solve this system or attempt to solve this system by using substitution. So I think so far every example we've done substitution, we either solved for y, and I think the first example, or it was already solved for y. So I mean, yikes. I mean, okay. You see how in example 6 that was already solved for y? I talked about how that was a perfect candidate for substitution. In example, I thought there was another one. Yeah, in example 8, that was already solved for y, perfect candidate for substitution. I'm going to solve the first equation for x in this example. Hopefully you see it's really easy to solve for this x. Hopefully this also shows you what I mean when I say it's easy to do substitution if one of your variables has a coefficient of 1. So there's a 1 in front of that x, which means all I have to do to solve for x is subtract the 5/3 y over to the other side of the equation. So this gives me that x is equal to 1/3 minus 5/3 y. And now if this is what x is, I'm going to substitute that in for this x right here. So I'm going to take that second equation where we have 3/2 x plus 5/2y equal to 2. And I'm going to replace the x with 1/3 minus 5/3 y. And then I'll keep the plus 5/2y is equal to 2. And I'm sure not everyone loves fractions. You could have cleared out the fractions to start the problem, right? You could have multiplied like everything in the first equation by 3 and multiplied everything in the second equation by 2, and that would have cleared out all of the fractions. I just thought about that. I'm not going to do it, but you could do it. If you have questions about that, please just ask me in class, okay? Okay, let's distribute this 3/2. Multiply fractions straight across the top, straight across the bottom. 3/2 times 1/3 is 3/6. 1/2. I'm just going to write 1/2 because the 3's cancel. 3/2 times 5/3 is 5/2. And don't forget the y there. And then there's still another plus 5/2 y, and this is all equal to 2. The negative 5/2 y and the positive 5/2 y cancel, and they leave us with 1/2 equals 2. And that's problematic. Don't leave that on your paper, put a slash on it, because 1/2 does not equal to 2. We have now arrived at an equation that is not true. What that means is that our system is inconsistent. There is no solution to this system. You do some kind of elimination or substitution and you arrive at something that's not true, then you're working with a system that does not have a solution. I encourage you all to graph these two lines. I will be looking for your graphs in class. Graph these two lines, and what you will see is that those two lines are parallel. Those lines have the same slope. So if we have two lines that have the same slope, they're never going to touch each other because they're always going in the same direction. So there is no answer here. The answer is that there simply is no solution.